Very lightweight, no slide outs to worry about. Outdoor cooking, big bathroom inside. Things kind of loaded up. Oh, and it's pretty dang good quality too. Let's go take a look. Welcome back to another video, y'all. If you're new here, my name is Myles with Firmly Unbound, and we are at Blue Compass RV today in Tyler, Texas, taking a look at this 2025 Grand Design Imagine 15 RV. You'll be able to see the floor plan layout and the specs on the screen, and then as we're going through this video, keep in mind, if you are looking for your next RV, there's a link down below in the comments and description that will help you out with finding a dealership close to you. As with Blue Compass RV, we have over 100 different stores in 33 different states, so lots of different places where we can help you out and hopefully find you something that's best fit for you close to home. Now with this travel trailer here, it is a very lightweight single axle travel trailer, and this is in the Imagine AIM line. This is going to have fiberglass siding, aluminum framing, so you're stepping up in quality from what you would get from something like, let's say a Grand Design Transcend, like their stick and tin style travel trailer. We say stick and tin in the RV world, that just indicates you have aluminum siding here, and then you would have something like wooden framing, which is what the stick part is referring to. A bunch of other brands out there like this. This is definitely a step up from that. Similar size that you might see in a lot of those trailers that kind of have that build characteristic, but just better quality here. No slide outs to worry about on this travel trailer, so whether you're a beginner camper just looking for the most easy experience to get into, the most hassle-free, this is definitely going to be a great option that will offer that. Or you may just be somebody looking to downsize, or maybe you're looking to get your second travel trailer or RV where maybe you have a big fifth wheel and sometimes that doesn't always work for you and you want to have a little travel trailer to go do other stuff with. All things to consider something like this for. You have a solar panel up on the roof, that looks like a 200-watt solar panel there. You have your Winegard digital antenna up there as well. And then love that you have your water connections inside of the storage area. So you'll have a little opening right here so you can feed the water lines through the bottom and keep that door shut so you don't have open exposed water connections here. Love that. You have a unloaded weight rating of just about 3,800 pounds here. It's 3,786 with a cargo carrying capacity of 969 pounds. So that's gonna get you to a gross vehicle weight rating of 4,795 pounds. Manual stabilizers here. You can use a drill to quickly drop those down. We have a BAL next gen frame. And then down underneath here, fully enclosed underbelly. All your water tanks and water lines will sit above that enclosed underbelly with a single dump station right over here for your black and gray tanks. Spot for your two 20-pound propane bottles here, battery connections. I do wish they had some sort of box kind of encasing their electrical connections and stuff like that. A lot of other brands do that and they just kind of have open exposed connections out here. Not a huge deal, but just something I would like to see. Something that is really nice is they do have the coiled breakaway connection right here instead of just like a long chain like most RVs have, and then it has a power tongue jack up front. So come along this way real quick, have your storage space through here. This is actually a pretty good size storage space for this size travel trailer. LED light strip in there, and this does have aluminum framing underneath here with welds on both sides of your frame connections. Can see nice rubber flooring here. It is prepped to add an inverter if you wanted to get an inverter to power things like outlets inside of the RV off of the battery system. On your baggage doors, you can see they're a pretty thin baggage door here, and then they use these metal clips to latch those closed, and it does have a latch or a magnet connection right there to hold it open for you. Solid step as you walk inside. You have outlets out here, freshwater tank fill, awning that covers the entry door, and back here you have a little capital griddle. This is going to be a griddle cooktop for you underneath the awning here on this travel trailer. Then finally along the back, tankless on-demand water heater, spray port there, so you have an outdoor water connection. And then it has a ladder to get up onto the roof, prepped to add a backup camera. And right here, we have a little tiny accessory hitch rated for just 1,500 pounds. If you are planning to use this, keep in mind this is a pretty small hitch connection right here, so that is not going to work for a lot of standard size. You know, I don't know if like 2 inches is a standard hitch size connection, but this is definitely smaller than what you will typically find for hitch connections. That's pretty much everything. Keep in mind, even with a brand new RV, it is our job as RV owners to check the roof for any cracks or, you know, fractures in the seals on the roof. That's how roof leaks occur, and I'm trying to really make sure y'all know as RV owners, it is our job to get up there and check those things from day one. So literally the day that you go pick up your RV or the day you purchase your RV, you should be up on the roof, making sure that those seals are properly sealed and that there's no holes or cracks or anything like that, so you don't have a roof leak. And that is something you should be doing throughout the entire ownership process of owning your RV. As we step inside here, you have a shade already installed on the window. Love that. A lot of RV brands still do not install that shade standard. And as we step inside here, you have a little shoe cubby area here, or I guess you could really put whatever you want in that space. And then you can see here, this has an open concept here with a Murphy bed setup. So that is your Murphy bed as we walk inside. And it's a very modern and contemporary look in here. Some of the other Grand Design Imagine travel trailers that I've shown, contemporary is the word that a lot of people recommended for explaining this interior space. Now let me widen out the camera lens so you can get a bit more information inside of here. You have your controls for this travel trailer right here. Nice thing about this is a motion activated light here, so these lights won't be on while you're like sleeping and stuff like that, making the space brighter. And then this will connect to your phone so you can see or control things that this does here from your phone. You have your battery levels, tank levels, and then awning and light controls, water pump, things like that. JBL sound system controls are right there. You have your AC up in the ceiling. Now it is a little bit of a noisy air conditioner. I do have it on right now. It's set to 68 degrees, but it's currently 68 degrees inside of here, so it's not on. But if it does fire up while we are in here, I will show you kind of the noise of what that sounds like. It should fire up at some point while we're in here. So nice layout in here. This is a floor plan that a lot of brands make, but there's some really nice things that Grand Design does that really, make this thing what it is. You have a ton of storage in here. So drawer underneath here, or I guess 2 drawers underneath here that open up. Storage all around the bed space that's so easy to get to, whether you have the bed down or you have it in the Murphy bed, or I guess it's always a Murphy bed, whether you have it in the sofa configuration or in the bed configuration. All of this storage is very easy to get to. Nice little shelf down there, outlet down there, and then we'll put the bed down before we finish up the video so you can see what that looks like. Same storage setup here, and then pull down blackout shades on all of the windows. See how those open up there. And again, kind of contemporary with the look where they don't have any valances or anything covering that rail system for the drop down shade. Nice looking kitchen space, a pretty considerable amount of countertop space for this size travel trailer. They kind of make the sink smaller to increase that countertop space. Nice charcoal stainless steel sink, soap dispenser in here as well. That's not very common. And then you're going to have, on the faucet, it will detach and pull out if you need to. Have nice storage there. Soft close cabinet doors. That's very nice. You have soft close hinges on there, and then they are a tinted glass cabinet door. Magnet latches to hold those shut. Vent fan here to vent out smells while you're cooking, and then you have your microwave down here, but it's also doubling as a convection oven or like an air fryer. Bigger storage down here. Pots and pans can fit in that space. You have some drawers right here. Those actually open up pretty far, which is nice. So some pretty decent space there. And then finally underneath the sink, nice open 2-shelved storage down underneath here. No individual shutoff valves for the water lines though. And as we turn back around this way, have your TV there. That's a pretty small TV. You can see like sitting here what that will look like. I use the wide angle lens because this actually looks like the most true to what my eyes are seeing when I'm sitting here. So literally just with my peripheral vision looking at this, my eyes actually can even see a little bit further past this door even if I'm focused at the TV. So it's pretty true to how it looks as far as like the size of the TV from my own perspective versus what you're seeing on the screen. So it does definitely feel a little bit small, but it's not so small that you can't watch something on it, whether you're sitting on the sofa here or just hanging out in bed. So that's the nice thing about this floor plan is you get a TV location where whether you're sitting at the dining table or laying in bed, you get a view of the TV. I'm also curious. Let's see. Trying to see if the lights. Ooh. Oh, there goes the air conditioner. Oh, the lights do dim. Kind of messing with the camera a little bit, but if you hold down the light button, the lights will dim there. And then you just might have heard the AC come on. So if you can hear it, it's a little bit noisy. It's not ducted, so it's just blowing air out of both sides. I kind of don't mind the noisy AC. It's a little annoying if you're trying to conversate in here and maybe watch a movie or something. But the noise is kind of nice at night. Just kind of fills the dead space. So I do kind of like that sometimes. Right down here you have a pedestal style table, very easy to use. I actually really like this table. One, it's very sturdy when you get those latches nice and tight. I mean, this thing is much more sturdy than a lot of other dining tables out there in travel trailers. Then you just unlatch both of these and you can push that right down. Obviously you'll latch it to keep it in place, and then when you unlatch it, it'll just pop right back up. So one of the easiest table systems out there without a doubt. And I also, again, like that it's nice and, you know, solid when you latch these up tight, and you have these little knobs so you can adjust the tightness of those. No storage underneath the dining areas. They are running the heat through those areas under there. And then I will note, just so you know, because I actually didn't even really notice this till I got my own travel trailer, these booth areas are not super comfortable. When you're sitting in them, you have to sit like perfectly straight up, and it's just not the most comfortable seating. I kind of wish they did a more firm pad right here, because the way this is so squishy, it just, like, you just sink into it too much, and there's just not a lot of depth to the seat here. That's just something I've noticed in kind of travel trailers and RVs in general with these dining, or with the booth dining areas. They're probably a lot more comfortable for kids though, which is kind of what I imagine them being used for. In my travel trailer, this actually is all just storage space is what it ends up being. We only sit on the sofa in my travel trailer. And speaking of my travel trailer, if you don't care at all about my personal life, you can go ahead and skip this part of the video, but I just got engaged. So it was pretty exciting. That happened literally 3 days ago as of me filming this. So if you haven't seen, I have another YouTube channel called Firmly Unbound. There's a link down below in the comments and description for that YouTube channel. You'll see Megan and I on that channel. Megan is who I just got engaged to. And we have our own kind of camping adventures that we've gone on and various other things that are on that channel. So you can go check that out if you are feeling curious and really excited. We're hoping to get married before the summer, and then our honeymoon is essentially going to be just taking the RV and traveling the United States over the summer, as she's a teacher, so she has the summer off, and we're going to go around the country filming RV tours for you guys while we travel around. But anyway, so yeah, in our trailer, this actually all just ends up being storage space. We just use the booth right here to put some stuff down on, maybe the table. We've literally only sat down there to eat one time in the 4 trips that we've been on. So usually sit on the picnic table or just sit on the sofa and have our meals. A little bit smaller refrigerator in here than you'll find in some other travel trailers, but keep in mind, most people will travel with a cooler as well, so you can always bring a cooler along with you. Definitely a smaller freezer portion, but this is plenty for a weekend camping trip though. I know so far all I've done is weekend camping trips that are 3 or 4 days, and my refrigerator and freezer have never been anywhere close to full. So I actually think that's a plenty fine space for what most people will use if you're doing weekend camping trips. Plastic foot flush toilet going into the bathroom. You have a sliding door here for your privacy, and it actually is a really good privacy door there. So you can see great privacy with that door. That's not always the case in travel trailers. Sometimes they have really big gaps on the bottom or the top. So maybe if you're some newlyweds or anything like that and still need, you know, that greater sense of privacy, you have that. Or maybe you've been married for a long time and you still need that greater sense of privacy. Have great countertop space in here. This is really deep. I mean, that's almost the length of my arm back there. That is awesome. This here is liquefied. This is a black tank treatment for your RV. You can find that on Amazon in the powder form, in the tablet form, and in the liquid form. That's going to make sure everything going into your black tank drains out properly, decomposes properly, and keeps your RV smelling fresh. Tankless water heater, hooks here for some towels. You do have a vent fan up in this space, and that's that smaller vent fan. But so far in my travel trailer, I have that same smaller vent fan too, and I've actually not felt like it's inadequate at doing its job. Standard plywood drawer construction. I don't know why the camera is just going crazy on me. There we go, turn back around. And then you have 3 drawers here. Looks like these are all pretty much the same size there. Kind of a split style medicine cabinet setup here. So ladies area, men's area. Then flip this back around, you have a window along the back wall, letting in some natural light, and then you have your shower right here. It's a little bit more of a narrow shower since this is a narrow travel trailer, and you're going to have a flexible shower curtain right there. Very nice, easy to use shower curtain. And as I turn this around, you'll be able to see how I fit in the space. Standing at about 6'1", maybe 6'2" with my shoes on today. And Yeah, you could probably be about 6'4" tops in here. As you can see, my head even kind of goes up into the skylight, and I'm definitely sitting well above the height of the shower head, so I would have to lift that up over my head or duck to take a shower. And again, it's a little bit narrow in here as well, so it'll feel a little tight, especially if you're broader in the shoulders. And that is pretty much everything. It's a pretty simple, straightforward travel trailer, but let me show you the bed down real quick. I forgot we hadn't got there yet. Super easy jackknife sofa here. One of the easiest mechanisms there for getting the sofa down into a bed formation. Delatch that, and then it does have a folding mattress. Now with the way this goes up into this space, you're gonna pretty much need to stick with this folding mattress for this Murphy bed to work. That's one of the disadvantages to this floor plan, is you don't really get the option to upgrade the mattress, because an upgraded mattress just is not going to fit in this space when you go to put that bed up, unless it's able to fold like this one does here. So you may be able to get a really thin mattress that could scrunch up and stuff like that. You could definitely put a foam topper on top of this as well, but getting a nice thick plush, you know, brand of mattress is just not going to work in something like a Murphy bed setup like this. Nonetheless, this is a queen size bed here. You have individual reading lights for each person there. I really love that because it just gives you a nice soft light whether you're going to bed at night or waking up in the morning. You don't have to have a super harsh aggressive light to turn on to see what you're doing. And then you have an LED light strip up there as well. That's something I noticed because my travel trailer does not have those individual reading lights in it. And you know, when I go to sleep at night, I have all of the window shades down, the door window is covered, so it's completely dark when I wake up in the morning. And turning on the lights, it is just like bright and aggressive. So I wish I had those individual reading lights. It would be nice to just have a softer light for when I wake up. Outlets and USB ports in those corners there, and those cubbies, and those do have USB Type-C and A connections. Little hook here to hang keys or different items there. And then that is pretty much it. It's so simple to put this back up. You just kind of flip that first portion of the mattress there, push this back, and then you have the latch right here to allow you to close that up. And then you just flip this back over, and that is it. You are back into a nice, comfortable seating arrangement. Have a flip down cup holder spot here. It's not like the most comfortable sofa ever, but it's definitely comfortable enough. I could sit here and watch a full movie, no problem. It's just, you're not gonna have like a ton of comfort with a sofa this small. But obviously people buying something like this, I would imagine you're going out and spending most of your time outside, as you should. So again, this is the Grand Design Imagine AIM 15 RB. Let me find y'all a price real quick and then let's get out of here. Online, there's mostly only MSRP prices listed on this travel trailer that are somewhere around $32,000 to $34,000. So a sales price on this is going to be somewhere right around like $25,000 to $28,000, I would imagine. So that's kind of what you could expect with something like this Imagine AIM here. If you're looking for your next travel trailer or any kind of RV, there's a link down below in the comments and description where you can find over 100 different dealerships in the United States that will hopefully have something that you're looking for, so you can find something closer to home for you if you're not in the Texas area. And then that's all I got for y'all. Until next time, live firmly unbound.